that game was basketball perfection. They had an injury. Give BYU credit for playing with pride in the last few minutes, but that's one of the best wins of his career and one of the most impactful in school history.
It's Baylor, it's UCF, it's on FS1, and we're just less than 4 hours until the month of March, folks. Lock in on your couch, get excited. The best time of the year is upon us. Here's Riley Kugel. First game in a couple of weeks, takes the first shot, it's too strong. So Baylor, a team at 500 overall, just 4-11 in Big 12 play, but they nearly pulled off an upset over one of the top teams in the entire country, and it was because of this man, Cameron Carr, who had 26 points in that one, too shy of a career high.
It's nice to see that one go down. He's only 4 out of his last 24 from 3. But when we talked to him today at practice, he felt like they should have won that game against Arizona. He said, we're very confident. We can take a lot of positives from that game, but they've got to close some of these out. They've had a solid February, but they haven't been able to win the close ones.
Kugel drives inside. Too much on the floater. John Bull fighting for it. Ball still loose. And it stays with UCF. Great hustle from number 7 in white.
These guys, they get on the floor. They can feel March around the corner. They know how critical last week was. They are playing as well as anybody in the country, averaging 80 points per game over the last 3. And with the way they shoot the ball and the way they rebound, they feel like they can win every time they take the court.
Dropped 97 at number 19 BYU on Tuesday night. Here's a 3 from Jordan Burks. Jess, he had a career high in that BYU game, 24 points. Coach Dawkins telling us at shoot-around he's been very happy with the junior from Alabama's development this season.
It was the early bombs he was hitting, especially against that pressure. Hit his first 3 threes in the first 5 minutes. He is now 7 out of his last 14 from beyond the arc. No one is shooting it better in the league than number 99.
Baylor's got to put something up here. Who's Tunde Yesufu? No good. Count it, and the foul, JaMychal Stillwell.
Well, we weren't even sure JaMychal was going to be in this game. I mean, he blew out his ankle the last one, and that's like a middle linebacker coming right into your living room. Look for him to step up and make the free throw. But what about his world-class defense against Abonza the other night? Nobody has been able to guard the number 1 pick like that. He used his chest. He was physical. He's got to be in consideration for all defensive team.
Now we've got the officials going to the monitor. All right, so you heard it there. So Gary Maxwell misspoke on part of that. They keep the challenge, they lose the timeout. That is what Keith Patterson told us, because it was an appeal and not an official challenge. Big difference.
So for the Knights, the keys to this game, they need to stay in the gaps against Baylor. Baylor has 2 first-round draft picks who can attack the rim, Yesufu and Carr. So you have to stay in those gaps. Don't let them get downhill and guard without fouling. Baylor parades to the free throw line, 22 free throws per game. They don't shoot it at a high percentage, but you don't want to bail them out. There we go. There's a perfect example. Carr attacks the rim. He's as good as anybody in the league at that. He's been on a tear. You don't want to foul him.
Foul on Stillwell. Cam Carr expected to be a first-round NBA draft pick and a ton of mocks online. Potential lottery pick as well. And what an absolute monstrous jump that the Tennessee transfer has taken this year. Just 5 points per game in Knoxville last year, and here he is, Baylor's leading scorer at 19 per contest.
He told us today he was not very tall when he was a kid, so he grew up playing point guard. So he has the ball handling skills, and then he got this growth spurt, and he's become one of the better rebounding wing players in this league. So he rebounds, he defends, he can score as well as anybody. And how about this? He shoots 51% on his mid-range jumpers, which will absolutely translate to the next level.
Leads the team in minutes as well, just under 34. So Scott Drew, a guy who's running a 7, maybe 8-man rotation most games. He knows his guys, and he believes in that. As Bemis Fulks couldn't finish from the block. Carr lobs one up. Caden Powell resets up top. Swing, corner, Yesufu. Powell picks it back up and is fouled.
Well, the keys for Baylor in this game, after talking to Coach Drew this afternoon, he said, we need to force tough shots. So far, pretty good in that category. And he said, we obviously need to protect the ball. They only turned the ball over 5 times against Arizona. But again, for the Knights, you cannot foul on these tough shots. You want to keep your hands off these guys. The crowd doesn't think it should have been a foul.
When does the home crowd ever think it was a foul against their team?
Exactly. And this home crowd knows exactly what last week meant. I mean, that was one of the most impactful weeks in school history. You take the long, tough flight out west into the mountains and come away with 2 fantastic wins. And Fulks is back. He was a little banged up, but now he seems to have found his rhythm, and he's not an underrated point guard because everybody in the country and the coaches know how good he is, but he does fly under the radar. He does so many great things for this team. How about accounting for 37% of his team's offense?
Nice feed and finish. Kugel to Burks for the jam.
The reason that happened, Jake, is because they shoot the 3 at close to 40%. So you have to stay outside, which opens up the lane. You get backdoor cuts for easy buckets. That is so nice. And I don't think any wing player is playing better than 99 right now in this league. He has been on fire.
Mid-range J from Obi Agbin, the 5th-year senior from Colorado. Fast-paced start, and it remains with UCF. Both teams look comfortable offensively out of the gate, Jess.
And both teams do a pretty good job of moving it side to side. In this league, you have to swing it around because the defense overhelps so much. But look, he can blow by any forward. It's just not fair when number 1 gets matched up on a bigger guy. And there aren't many guys in the country who can consistently get to the paint the way he can.
Bemis Fulks coming off his 4th double-double of the season, all point and assist double-doubles, 24 and 11 at number 19 BYU on Tuesday. Cam Carr responds and silences the crowd. They dared Stillwell to take the 3, hands it off to Kugel. And off to the other end of the floor we go.
Michael's got to pull up and take that 3. That's what the defense gave him. He's a little banged up. That was too wide open.
Offensive rebound, Caden Powell. Carr, another one. Fulks. Nice deflection there. It remains with the Knights. Kugel uses the glass. Couple of games without Riley Kugel, averaging 14 per game this season, and he's making an early impact. A transfer from Florida and Mississippi State as the big fella John Bull with a rejection, his 23rd of the season. Here's Fulks, twists inside. Back to Baylor. This is a long stretch without a whistle. Still waiting for our first media timeout at the under 16. There's under 14 left. Here's Carr just inside the free throw line. Can't connect. sets with Burks. Ball inside, gets it. That's deep range for him.
He may be the X factor headed into March, right? He can protect the rim. He's really good in drop coverage defensively. And if he adds that little mid-range jumper and hook shot, that's how he played against Texas Tech, against Toppin, and he was the reason they won that game.
One of 2 double-doubles this season, one of them coming, as just said, against Texas Tech here at home, back on January 21st. Not on the same page. That's the first turnover on either side.
Well, Cameron Carr is a walking bucket. He gets off the bus and he thinks he can shoot it from anywhere. That's because he can. He just tickles the net. And then check out this backdoor cut. Number 99. Is anybody playing better in this league? No, not a chance. And dominate BYU the way they did.
Let's not forget, Jess, this was a team that was picked 14th out of 16 in the Big 12 preseason poll. They had a brand new roster, no production returned, yet Johnny Dawkins has them not only in the tournament, but they're going to be a popular pick to make a little bit of a run next month.
Absolutely. They have an elite point guard. They shoot the 3. They have a rim protector, and they play in the best league.
That's Chris Johnson, who started the 2 games that Riley Kugel missed. It's the only 2 games that he missed, or excuse me, 2 games that he started this season, and it was part of a 3-game winning streak. Now it's a 7-0 UCF run.
Chris went 5 out of 9 from 3 in the state of Utah.
Isaac Williams punches back. The team's best 3-point shooter at 45%.
Yeah, Isaac just doesn't take enough threes. He made 2 threes, make it 3 in the entire month of February. He's shooting close to 50%, scoring 16 points per game over the last 5. So when he's open, he's got to pull the trigger.
5 seconds to shoot. Devin Cambridge does not hit the rim. That's a shot clock violation, but Baylor picks it up anyways.
Carr so underrated defensively. That's his 2nd block of the game.
Oh, nice move by Isaac Williams. The 6'1" guard over the 6'11" Jeremy Fumena. Doesn't matter.
It hasn't been their offense, right? It's been at this end where they give up too many layups just like that. They can score, but they're not locked in defensively. Coach Drew's had to simplify things. They don't blitz ball screens anymore. They're switching more. They just don't have the personnel or the mindset with this group to just become a lockdown defending team. I mean, the season's almost over, but at this end, well, they could fill it up.
Open 3 is short from Michael Rataj, the senior from Germany. A lob, oh! Nearly a highlight with some friendly fire for UCF. Early signs of a track meet here on FS1. Don't go anywhere. You see that left foot turn.
They have had some ankle injuries this season, haven't they?
As Matthew Cabay, the trainer, and his staff taking a... Jeremy Fumena, the redshirt junior from Canada, has played in 24 of 28 games so far this season. He's been very important to the depth of this team. And nice to see him getting up with some help from the athletic training staff. Injuries, nothing new for this UCF squad. We mentioned Riley Kugel and Jamichael Stillwell missing time over the last couple of weeks, and now it looks like one of their bigs is dealing with it as well.
It's about the only thing that could derail this team. I mean, you talk about their depth. How about 7 different nights have led the team in scoring so far this year? So these guys rely on everybody. They get along really well for a team that just got put together, seems like a few months ago.
Kugel, after missing the last couple of games, he stepped up so far in the first 10 plus minutes, and a swat from behind by Chris Johnson.
All right, you think you have a pretty clean look right here, but this is the team defense they've been playing, right? You stand straight up, and then your teammate comes over and helps you. The timing couldn't have been better.
Carr, contested three. Too much. He's got 8 early points, couldn't connect there, as Kugel to the rack.
Carmelo Pacheco is an underrated defender, right? He gets switched on to Carr, forces a really tough shot, and those bad shots lead to runouts at the other end.
Riley Kugel, along with Themis Fulks, leading the way with 14 points per game. 8 so far for Kugel as Bull rejects Cameron Carr. Some extracurricular activities afterwards.
Well, again, Pacheco does a nice job of running Cameron off the line. But then Bull gets the shot, and then you can't go up and get in the face of a guy. I mean, that's just a clear rule, an easy call. A quick tee, it's the right call, Carr. You don't want to get Carr easy buckets here to get him in a rhythm.
So technical free throw here for Cameron Carr. And now Bull's got to take the walk of shame to Coach Dawkins.
Yeah, and they're doing such a good job of guarding without fouling, right? They're blocking shots, forcing tough ones, and you don't want to get this guy some freebies to get him in a rhythm. He can hang 30 on you. So they're going to run him off the three-point line. He turns the corner. This is a great switch. Goes straight up, gets all ball, and then he's going to get right in his face, and it's just an easy call for the official.
He was right there, too. Gary Maxwell, lead referee in this crew. So Bull will take a breather. We've got a 1-point game. Skillings gets his defender to fake, and it earns himself a couple of free throws.
Phenomenal move by Skillings, right? You get deep into the paint. You've just seen your teammates get their shots blocked 2 times in a row, so you pump fake. And shot blockers cannot stay on the ground, and then he goes up to get fouled. Gets another set of free throws. So just an interesting turn of events right here. And you got to make them, though.
70% free throw shooter. Gets one more chance. Got it. So UCF offensively is clicking. They've made 5 of their last 7 from the floor. Big reason is because of this man, Kugel. Cambridge tried saving it, but it's going the other way.
That one was too quick by Kugel, right? One pass, a couple dribbles, you take a tough contested shot. The defense collapses, you want to move it side to side, get the defense out of their rotations. If you're Baylor, you can live with that shot all afternoon.
Skillings finishes. Depth is not the strength of this Baylor team. We mentioned 7 or 8 deep, but this is a man off the bench who's averaging 10 points per game. Pacheco responds from the corner.
He is an assassin. I mean, if he's left open, he shoots it at about 65%. So what a run he's been on. He's much improved defensively. But how about Baylor without the shot blocker in the game? Everybody's just attacking the rim right now, Jake.
Offensive rebound, Skillings. Oh, and one. Michael Ratai, right place, right time.
John Bull picks up the technical foul. He goes to the bench. What does Baylor do? They attack on every single possession, going to the rim, getting on the glass. Hey, the Baylor Bears, don't let that record fool you. These guys still play with a ton of heart. We can't leave him open. So that's one of the best in the business right there, a national champion, 3rd most wins in the country over the last 6 years. These guys are really tough, but that was an impressive huddle, right? You tell them what they're doing well, and then you correct them quickly so they can improve.
Just 2 wins away from 500 in his career. 498, 284, and of course that national championship 5 years ago. They're going to be a tough out in Kansas City, no matter what seed they are.
Yeah, they have scores, right? Let's see if they were paying attention in the huddle.
Folks, George Beal Jr. gets his defender to jump. And a foul on Ratai, trying to get position for the rebound.
Well, they come out and they play their best defensive possession of the game so far. They force that tough mid-range jumper, and then they don't finish it off, and now they've got to play another 18 to 20 seconds of defense. That one really hurts.
This one's intercepted. And Skillings goes 94 feet.
He's been impressive over the last 3 or 4 minutes. He's been the toughest player on the court.
Did not make a field goal in the loss to Arizona 4 days ago. And this foul is on Ratai, his second.
Jay Mike at the line for the Knights. Shooting 2.
So now 2 free throws for JaMychal Stillwell. He was a 50-50 shot to play just hours before tip-off. Nursing an ankle injury from a few weeks ago. Just we were here a couple of weeks ago against West Virginia. He actually didn't play, but he's been working his way back.
I'm amazed that he played in this game. I mean, that ankle injury is severe. I mean, he was in agony. It didn't even look like a shoot-around that he was going to be able to go, but he knows how important this win is, and he just put together the best defensive performance in school history at BYU. I mean, they would not have been able to do what they did, especially get off that hot start, if he wasn't battling. But he is so physical and an elite rebounder at both ends of the court.
Picked up his 7th double-double of the season. He was actually 4 assists shy of a triple-double. 12 points, 12 boards, 6 assists in that historical performance. Yesufu gets his own rebound. Can't finish his second opportunity.
Again, no shot blocker for UCF, and so Baylor doing a nice job of just attacking the paint. They're not always finishing, but it's a tremendous game plan.
Beal is fouled, heading to the basket.
Baylor foul 0. Dan Skillings Jr.
First on Dan Skillings Jr. And it'll be a couple of opportunities here for George Beal Jr., who's going to be called on for more minutes now, assuming Fumena can't come back. Beal is usually the 10th guy in the rotation, averaging just 8 minutes per game. But he's actually coming off a great performance, Jess. Just 10 points in just 11 minutes against BYU.
2 out of 3 from beyond the arc. It just, I mean, if you're a BYU fan, you saw everybody on the Knights just light you up, right? I mean, everybody was hitting from 3. It was one of the great shooting performances you'll ever see, especially in that hostile environment. And sounds like BYU went on the road and lost today again. So it is that time of year where exhaustion sets in, the pressure of March Madness. Iowa State was defeated today on their home court by Texas Tech. You just have to come ready to play every night in this league. And look at a team like Baylor at the bottom of the league. They're up 2 on the road in a hostile environment. What a pass.
And a foul on Stillwell. Snake eyes from Cameron Carr into the paint there to Caden Powell.
There's no way that should have been able to slip through there. It surprised Powell as well.
That's the 6th on UCF, so their last one to give.
Yesufu needs to post up or attack the rim. You don't want to settle for long jumpers here with no rim protector at the game. That's a tough shot.
Off Offensive rebound, Caden Powell to keep the possession going. Floater, Carr. He's got a dozen.
That's been the story of the game, right? The technical foul and the 7-footer having to go sit on the bench, and Baylor attacking the rim and getting offensive rebounds.
Tech was Bull's second as well.
Yeah, just a huge mistake by Bull.
Corner pocket, Pure. Timeout UCF. 15 points for Cam Carr.
Tell you what, this is exactly how they played in the first half against Arizona, right? They came out firing, playing with toughness. They've been a lot better defensively since the timeout. You get offensive rebounds, you get in a scramble situation, and Carr, who had not been shooting the three very well coming into this one, has been on fire. That one didn't even touch the rim, and he's going to let you know about it if you're sitting in the front row.
An absolute dog. 16 so far, coming off a 26-point performance against number 2 Arizona, where he made a career best in field goals with 11. It was his 12th 20-point game. And with this first half performance, he becomes the first sophomore to score at least 500 points in a season since Darius Dunn back in 2008. Really impressive.
Next ball.
Baylor has 8 offensive rebounds, 8 defensive rebounds. Now, why is that so critical? Because UCF is 17-0 when they win the boards.
Another empty possession for UCF. And an opportunity at the free throw line for Carr to come.
Tell you, you go back to the timeout that we went inside the huddle, which is just awesome for everybody watching at home to be able to hear what these coaches say in live time. But there's Scott Drew, and he reminded his guys of they're rebounding well, they're not turning it over, but we're getting killed in the first 10 seconds defensively. That has completely changed since that timeout. They forced tough shots, and they're attacking at the other end.
So 2 more here for Carr. Who extends the lead to 8. Coach Drew mentioning with the media this week he wasn't at the forefront at the scouting report prior to this season, so this is uncharted territory, but he's adjusted exceptionally well in green and yellow. 7 in a row for the Bears. Largest lead of the night in 9. Kugel snaps the run. Much needed for the Knights.
Yesufu played extremely hard there defensively, but he made a mistake. You cannot drop off of the shooter. There's just not enough time to recover.
Kugel, the Orlando native. Carr again, heat check. Yes, sir! He's got a 20-piece in the first half.
He's so tall. It doesn't matter if there's a hand in his face. There's a turnover going the other way. But right now, you just cannot let him get the ball back if you're the Knights.
What a tough out this team is going to be in Kansas City next week, Jess. They might not be in the at-large conversation right now, but whoever draws Baylor and this national champion head coach on your screen right now, they're going to have their hands full no matter what round it's in.
No question, because of that guy, right? Because he can beat you single-handedly. He can get hot, talking about Carr. But if you're Johnny Dawkins, are you tempted to put Bull back in the game for a couple minutes? Huh, Jake?
You might have to.
Put the coaching hat on you, right? This thing's teetering right here. Probably smart not to, but I guarantee you it's going through his mind right now.
Williams inside, Powell.
No shot blocker, just a dunk fest. Can't stop anybody. I'd put him back in.
That was Elijah Holsway, who was on the late coverage, a guy who's played in just 11 games this season. And there he is, picking up the N1, righting his wrong from the defensive breakdown on the other end. But Jess, it has been the Cameron Carr Show so far with 20.
He moves so well without the basketball, right? You think you have him bottled up. You think again. The rotation, the splash. He's in a zone. On the arc, we told you off the top, he was only 4 out of his previous 24 coming in, but you could throw that out the window if he wasn't a slump. That is long, long gone. They cannot let him get a shot off here over the last few minutes.
Scored 26 against Arizona, as we mentioned, which is 2 shy of his career high set on opening night this season over UT Rio Grande Valley. Here he is with 20 in just 16 minutes of play. Trying to complete the three-point play. It's Elijah Holsway, the Orlando native. This is a guy who's going to see elevated minutes tonight with the Fumena injury, but he's a guy who's averaging just 4 minutes a game. Here he is in a big moment, in a big game on primetime. He's
in zone right now. His #1 job is to rebound, right? You cannot afford to give up any more offensive rebounds against Baylor, and that's just wide open.
And Obi Agbim takes advantage. It is the 7th made 3 for Baylor. They are 7 of 13 from downtown. Nice feed from Holsaway. Johnson can't finish, but he was hit in the arm.
Sometimes as a coaching staff, you overthink it a little bit, right? So you go with that zone defense, you try to change it up, but it leads to too many clean looks. That was an aggressive move at the offensive end here. Johnson's been really tough. He's a weight room guy as well.
Yeah, 6'5", 196. We mentioned how he started his first 2 games of the season in the place of Riley Kugel. Coach Dawkins praised him in his scrum with the media earlier this week, saying he's been terrific all season, gotten better from November up to now, and was very big for them on the road on both sides of the ball. Gave them a big lift, again, with that injury adversity.
He couldn't have played any better, right? That's just what they expect out of him, but to go on the road in a hostile environment and play that way is amazing. Both coaches today at shoot-arounds talk about how ferocious this league was. Now there are 4 or 5 teams that could play in the Final Four. Here's another example. You have to be ready to execute on both ends.
Kick by Johnson. All right, so Baylor's up by 10 right now. Their largest lead was 11. If you're UCF, what's a comfortable number you're trailing by at the half to really feel like you have the momentum back?
You know, I don't think that matters too much to them because they're such great three-point shooters. They're going to get their 7-footer back into the second half. But they need to rebound. The key here is not to give up second chance opportunities. If Baylor's going to shoot it over the top of you, you just tip your hat to them. This is pretty good defense right here.
5 to shoot. Agbim contested long too, but he cashes in.
Great defense. Elite shot over the top.
Holsaway can't finish the layup. A big break for Baylor. Can they take advantage? You bet. It's Isaac Williams from 3. Timeout, Johnny Dawkins. A 15-point advantage for the Bears.
Well, the problem with missing a layup at one end, it leads to a 5-on-4. Now, look, check this defense out, right? You got a hand up, you're moving your feet, you put your hand right in his face, and he still drills it. But now, this is a 5-on-4, and you're in scramble mode. Nobody closes out. Baylor could not play much better.
I'm a taste of their own medicine, aren't they?
That's a great call, partner. I mean, they have flipped the script, and we don't want to harp on it too much, but the John Bull technical where he had to go to the bench has completely flipped this game.
He has not seen the floor since picking up that tech, which was his second personal. On top of that, Jeremy Fumena, the backup big, has not come back out of the locker room after being injured. Kugel, Fultz, fouled by Yesufu.
That's great defense by the Knights. No need to panic. Tremendous no-look pass by Kugel. And an easy call for the officials.
17 foul.
Here it is in transition.
If you're struggling to score in the half court, just get out and run. Folks almost fumbled that, but obviously gets hit. Not many point guards in the country playing better than this guy for the entire season. At 30 points against Arizona. It's a double-double threat almost every night. 11 assists on the road at BYU. Just at the top of everybody's scouting report. Johnny Dawkins has done such a good job at coaching point guards over the years, and he just loves Folks, and everybody knows why. I mean, this guy just impacts winning.
You mentioned the 11 assists. You just saw it on your screen. That set a new program single-season record. 7 assists per game. Second in the Big 12, 11th nationally in assists. He's got a couple so far in this first half, but his UCF Knights in a hole. Down to Baker's dozen. Here's Agbim again. Burks contested 3. Tap back out. Fultz open. Can't finish. Under a minute to go in the first. Williams, 94 feet. UCF 0 for their last 4. Baylor 8 of their last 9. But Riley Kugel snaps that streak with a much-needed 3. Full court press. Shot clock off. Under 20 to go. Skilling's reverse layup and 1.
The Baylor Bears have been criticized this year for too much isolation basketball, but in this game, they have made the extra pass. What high IQ plays to attack the rim consistently, not settling for threes. They are closing in on 60 points in this half, and my goodness, you mentioned it. Watch out for the Bears. These guys can flat out light it up. What an impressive performance in the first half on the road.
Oh my goodness. That sequence right there, a perfect definition on how things have gone for UCF in this first 20 minutes. A 2-on-0, and it's going back to Baylor.
This has been so common in this league, right? You play your best game of the year, and then a couple nights later, you find yourself down at half.
Not only down, but down double figures. But Baylor gives it right back. Let's just say the last segment won't make either team's highlight reel.
That just can't happen. That just cannot happen for Baylor right there, man. You've got all the momentum. You've got a timeout. It's just not acceptable. You have to take the last shot of this half.
So UCF catches a break, 10 seconds left. And Folks is across midcourt. Let's see if they can get a bucket before the buzzer. Folks, kick out, corner, denied, and it stays with UCF. 2.4 left. You going 3 here, or you going inside?
I'm going inside, but I have a feeling they're going with 3.
They're 5 of 9 from downtown. 18 points in the paint. Folks, Kugel to beat the buzzer. What a first half performance by the Baylor Bears. 56 points.
Passes that the Bears are making in this game.
56 points allowed by UCF in the first half. The most they've given up in a first half this season. In fact, in that game against BYU, 3-pointer short for the Bears. They gave up the same amount in the second half. So that's back-to-back halves over 2 different games, allowing 56 points apiece for the Knights.
Out of bounds, Knights ball.
Let's take a look at our first half stats, Jess.
It just really started with Bowl going to the bench, and then all of a sudden, Baylor parades into the paint, gets offensive rebounds. They start shooting free throws. That was really the difference. Now, if you're the Knights, there's no need to panic, right? You've got your starters back in. Take good shots. Rely on your point guard. You've got to get some stops put together here at the other end. You already saw in their first defensive possession, Bull altered the shot, and they had to kick it out. So, hey, this is one of the better teams in the league. There's no need to get in a hurry. You don't have to get it all back here in the first few minutes.
Perhaps Themis Folks is a part of the equation for a second half comeback. The team's leading scorer had just 4 in the first.
Well, that was bad defense by Burks, chasing Carr, and he got open, a wide open shot, and just rimmed it. But Jordan's got to stay with him, be there on the catch. They can put it on the floor.
Mr. Michael Stillwell, who finishes. He was on the bench for a long stretch in that first half, too, with 2 fouls.
He is tough, right? I mean, that guy, it's the weight room move right there by big number 4.
So 4 quick ones for the Knights. And now Baylor is shooting in front of the UCF student section for the second half.
Gotta move it.
Yesufu stripped by Themis Folks. Reverse layup good. 6 out of the gate for the home team. And Scott Drew is going to call timeout. Here come the Knights. Early second half on FS1.
It's 56-48. Welcome back to Orlando. The Knights defense has been stout early. Keep your eye right around the free throw lane. Yesufu tries to conquer their entire defense. Their number 1 key, stay in a stance, stay in the gaps, and guard without fouling. It leads to a open layup at the other end. If you're going to try to conquer the Knights defense with their starters in, right, you're going to let them right back in the game, Jake.
Yeah, not surprising to see UCF crawl back into this one. Early second half, they've scored the first 6 points and are down by 8. This is a team coming off one of their most impressive, if not the most impressive win of the season, a 13-point wire-to-wire victory at number 19 BYU. They're in the middle of a 3-game winning streak. Meanwhile, Baylor has lost 5 of 6, but took number 2 Arizona the distance on their home floor in Waco just 4 days ago. Final day of February. March is coming as Bull gets involved defensively once again.
Well, it's 2 times Williams has been able to get to the rim, but Bull has either altered a shot or forced him to kick it out. What a difference he makes for this team.
Picked up that technical in the first half, which was a second personal. Did not see the floor after that. And once again, making his presence known. He's fouled, going for the rebound.
Just a completely different team at both ends. And he plays that drop coverage, which means on those pick and rolls, he drops and forces Baylor to take mid-range jumpers. And when he's not in there, they take it all the way to the rim.
That was the second on Caden Powell for Baylor. Stillwell, baseline jumper. Bull picks up the stretch. Here comes the crowd. 8 in a row for the Knights. Carr was the guy in the first. Offensive putback unsuccessful from Powell.
Big mistake by Carr. You got him in the air. You have to jump into his body and get him his 3rd foul. You can't let him off the hook in that situation.
Burks drive. finishes. 10 straight for UCF. Skillings. Ball once again provides a problem for the Bears. Kugel stripped away. Great defense by Obi Agbim. Hands off, Skillings, and Baylor's on the board in the second half.
They need that one. I mean, good defense. Great job getting the run out. Get this crowd calmed down. I mean, these people are going crazy in here.
They're ready to explode if UCF score on that other last possession.
Keep your eye on Folks. He's pretty good at setting screens.
There he is with the ball. Thought about the mid-range J. Instead, it's Kugel. Cash! 3-point game. Under 10 to shoot. Williams regathers and finishes. That's a tough J.
That's what he's been doing, especially over the last couple of weeks. Just getting his foot planted, rising up. It's a brilliant move by number 10 at the offensive end.
He's got a dozen behind Carr's 20. Here's Burks. Corner pocket. You bet. Four in a row from the field for UCF. Outscoring Baylor 16-4 in this second half so far. Skillings drives in traffic, loses it. Williams picks it back up. Bull pins it against the backboard. It's a shot clock violation. By the half, Baylor by 14, but UCF has quadrupled up Baylor so far in this second.
Stillwell.
Reasons because of John Bull.
Exactly. Stillwell and Bull are two of the elite defensive players in this league, and they've come up with some massive stops. I mean, Baylor was parading to the rim at the end of the first half, but not anymore. There is Bull. He goes straight up. He's blocking shots. He's rebounding, contesting everything. What a magnificent start to this second half because of the big fella. How about UCF 7-2 on the boards as well, and they are right back in it. Johnny Dawkins, not going to be National Coach of the Year, but he's going to be in the running. It's because of wise decision. I thought he should have brought Bull back in the first half. That's why I'm sitting over here. That's why he's over there. He knows his guys. He wanted to keep him out of foul trouble. Now 13:55 to go. We got basically a tie game. Fantastic coaching, and what a great decision that was.
Yeah, it was early in the game, 17-12. UCF led by 5. Bull with a big-time momentum block, and then picked up that technical for some extracurricular words to Baylor. And since then, the momentum shifted for the remainder of the first half, but UCF's got it all right now. Down by 2 after being down 14 at the half. Colts couldn't tie it.
If you're Baylor, you try to score in transition. If not, move it side to side. Put the big guy in pick and rolls and get him away from the rim.
Pinned again by Bull. His 5th rejection, and that one was explosive.
How did he cover that much ground? Now everybody's scared that he's coming.
Yesufu was fouled by Bull.
I mean, Baylor's hearing footsteps now, right? That's a pretty wide open shot. But it's like there's 2 Bulls on the court right now. Look, that rim is not protected. He comes in, uses the left hand. Great job. They don't come up with the rebound, and must have fouled him right there.
So now Tunde Yesufu, a 74% shooter. 18 points per game this season. But Jess, he now has just 4 so far. How does Baylor get this man more involved offensively with just 4 points?
Well, you just have to keep running your offense, play within the confines of the offense. He's been forcing too many shots, right? I would maybe post him up. But right now with big number 7 protecting the rim, I mean, everybody's just hearing footsteps. But he's got to find a way to get more points, right? Maybe it's the free throw line that gets him started.
He, along with Cameron Carr, are expected to go in the first round in many NBA mock drafts. Pickpocket Michael Rattay. Can he go the length of the court? Yes, he does. The senior from Germany. A nice athletic play on both ends.
You're not kidding. I mean, what a physical stop defensively, the quick hands. And that's been their best offense. Get out and run.
5 points for him. Lead back to 6. UCF's made 4 of their last 5. Burks gets his defender to fake. Can't connect.
Great defense again by the Bears. They've slowed this momentum down.
Cameron Carr is fouled. Remember, 20 in that first half. He has not scored here in the second. Third on Stillwell.
Yeah, that's a big call, right? I mean, he just refuses the ball screen. He's got length. It definitely grabs him by the left arm. It's good discipline here by the Bears. This crowd was going crazy as they lose the lead, but they come up with a couple good defensive stops, and they're able to get to the free throw line.
Fear the Franz. That's the mantra for the student section for UCF. The story goes a couple of years ago, before their first Big 12 home opener, there was a big storm that wiped through campus, ton of debris on the floor. And students the next day brought in a bunch of palm fronds into the arena to distract the opposing team. In that case, it was Kansas. Kansas missed 5 second-half free throws in that game. UCF won by 5.
Yeah, hey, it must have worked.
Clearly it did, and now it's expanded onto the floor. You look inside the paint, it's the palm design as well. 6 in a row now for Baylor after surviving the opening punch. Open 3 Fultz. Bull keeps it going. Kugel, step back tray. Yes, sir!
What a difference John Bull's made in this game. Just a fantastic start to the second half. If you're Baylor, continue to put pressure on the officials. Get downhill. Try to get them to force a whistle and get to the free throw line. There you go.
Travel on her time. 6 turnover for the Bears. We've got a great one brewing. Can Scott Drew get his guys in check to pull off the road victory?
Now, this is what we were expecting, and you got 2 outstanding coaches who are really going to decide this one. 11:44 to go. I love being inside the huddles with those guys.
No doubt. There's John Bull, and that's who Coach Drew was singling out as who the Bears have to box out. Bull, 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 blocks.
And there are different philosophies in the game now. I mean, some guys are the old school, sit on their thigh, they'll jam them in the chest to block out. Some guys now are just release and go get it. With him, you have to put your backside on his thigh so he can't get off the ground. He is so long at the peak of his jump.
Pacheco thought about the 3. Kugel's got a team-high 18 for UCF.
The ball's just stuck right here, right? It's got to move side to side. This is just a one-on-one move. It's not going to end well.
3 seconds to shoot. Fultz did not hit the rim. That's a shot clock violation.
Did you see how that ball just stuck right up front? Just pounded the air out of it. It's exactly what the Bears wanted. That's an outstanding defensive possession. If you're Kugel, you've got to move that on.
So an empty possession for UCF out of immediate timeout. And now Obi Agbin runs the point. Here's Yesufu inside. Second chance, no. Bulls got the loose ball for UCF. Ratai tried getting it back, and he gets Bull to step on the baseline.
Both teams really hustling, fighting for every square inch of the court. I love the aggressiveness by Yesufu, right? He challenged the big fella. That's what they have to do, continue to get him downhill. You don't want to settle for jumpers.
Ratai was open in the corner. Skillings, and one.
I mean, he is the definition of toughness, right? He's not afraid. He's going to get inside, definitely gets displaced, gets his head up. Young players, when you get displaced, you still have to get your eyes up on the spot you want that ball to hit. It was interesting. At halftime, he came over and showed Gary, the official, this big bruise he has. See his right bicep right there, that bruise? He was just having fun with the official, saying, look, there's evidence I'm getting fouled. What a warrior he is.
And suddenly, Baylor, after surviving that punch to the face out of the gate in the second half, UCF scored the first 10. They're back in control.
It's really interesting, these timeouts that we've been able to get in with Scott Drew. They've sure made a difference. And the things he has said in his timeouts. So many coaches waste those timeouts. There he is. And they just talk about toughness and effort and all those things that sometimes don't matter. You know, it's more execution, and he kind of breaks down what they're doing well and what they need to improve upon. And Coach Dawkins the same way, just a master class on coaching, and Baylor has weathered this storm that UCF came out with.
So Kugel's now got 19, as you see Johnny Dawkins talking to the head referee, Gary Maxwell. The win at BYU cemented back-to-back 20-win seasons for this UCF Knights team. And they're 3 wins over ranked teams, tied for the most in a season. But with these 3 games left, Coach Dawkins told us at shoot-around this afternoon, all they're focused on is Baylor right now. Nothing about the resume. It's the Bears on this floor right now.
And most teams in the country would be very envious of their resume, right? But you have to take it one at a time. You just take the challenges in front of you. But what a fantastic job these guys have done, and especially last week. I mean, they totally flipped the script.
Agbin can't connect on the 3. Offensive board by Yesufu, who goes back up and uses the glass.
That is an incredible move. Just overpowered the defender.
Kugel off balance. Yesufu got a hand on that. The Bull keeps the possession going. Cambridge, 3.
There it is. Bull finally got blocked out. That was textbook. They didn't allow him to leave his feet, and they came up with the defensive rebound.
UCF now struggling offensively. They made just 1 of their last 7. Open 3. Ratai off to the left. UCF ball.
Keep your shot. Keep your eye on Ratai.
Lob and finish! Cambridge hammers it home! And 1.
Keep your eye on Cambridge. There he goes. Catches with 2. There's the hammer. And 1. This place just exploded. What springs in his leg. He just flew up there. That felt like it was worth 5 points. Oh, man.
So Devin Cambridge, the journeyman, started his career at Auburn, then Arizona State, Texas Tech, has plenty of experience here at the elite Big 12 level. Today's actually his 169th career game. That's inside the top 20 in NCAA history. Talk about experience. In the NCAA tournament, number 35 in white is going to be a lethal weapon for this UCF squad.
He's had some huge moments this year, right? He's just so steady. Well, does he have another year? Is he going to come back?
Never say never.
I mean, the best way to break records these days is just to come back.
Yeah. By the way, you saw the official at the monitor. They added 6 seconds, so it goes from 9 minutes even to 9:06. Now Cambridge, the 75% free throw shooter. That was his first points of the game. Can't finish the three-point play.
Journeyman, that's the word you use?
Yeah.
I mean, are there any players in the country that...
At this point, remember, both of these teams return 0% of their production, so ton of fresh faces. We're tied. Loose ball stays with Baylor. By the way, that was just the second missed free throw for UCF on the other end. They're 11 for 13.
They're an elite free throw shooting team. If this is tight down the stretch, Jake, that's a great point. They hit their free throws late.
Baylor's done a good job at the line as well, 15 for 17.
See, they've struggled a lot this year from the line.
5 seconds to shoot. Williams, Yesufu, got to put something up off balance. Oh my goodness! What a roll! Tunde Yesufu from the floor. He's approaching double-double range. Burks takes a 3. Going back to Baylor. But Tunde Yesufu with a highlight reel play.
Well, he's been aggressive, but Bull is in there, so you can't attack him. I don't know how that went in.
I counted six doinks, by the way.
That's right. I mean, a horse shot, but they're going to need every one of them. If you're UCF, I'd give Bull some pick and roll actions. They're switching Baylor is onto him, and if they can roll him to the basket, maybe get a lob out of him.
Under 8 to go. Skillings, Cash, double-digit lead for Baylor. Folks inside the Bull, nobody near him. Oh, but Ratai jumps in out of nowhere to force the big fella to shoot a pair when we come back. Dan Skillings.
Yeah, Jake, he's been great. 15 points, 6 out of 12. None bigger than that one. So he goes back to putting a body on the Baylor Bears. It's not just saying rebound, it's what you need to do to get their minds back right. I mean, it's just a fantastic job. I tell you what, it seems like in this era, coaching rebounding is tougher, Jake, because the travel basketball teams don't emphasize it. And you just worry about scoring and you try to out-jump everybody. You get to this level, you better put a body on somebody or you're going to lose a lot of games.
I love the boxing analogy, too, saying we lost that round, we need to win the next one. Because that's what this feels like from the start, out of the gate. Feels like this one's going the distance. And both teams are surviving each other's punches.
Lost in the conversation there as Bull goes to the bench was Coach Dawkins did what we thought he would do. He put Bull in that high pick and roll to get the switch. He got the wide open dunk, but he missed it. But just a great job of coaching, counter punches, boxing terminology. It's really going to come down to rebounding and probably free throws. But tremendous job by Baylor to weather this storm.
Admin, pure from the line.
He was clutch down the stretch at Arizona State, so he's not afraid of these moments.
Nice stat line throwing for number 5 in green. Kugel leading the way with 20, make it 22.
So that's all because of Stillwell on the opposite side in front of their bench. Did the pick and roll action and forced the switch, so he had a guard on him. The defense had to collapse, and then he kicked it out for the open look. So the chess match continues.
Horn misses the dunk, but a late foul call by Desel Dean, the official.
Carr and Burks. Burks and Carr. These two wing players have been fantastic over the last few games, and he definitely gets hit on the arm, but What about Carr trying to put him on a poster? I mean, this guy is just ferocious at the offensive end.
20 in the first, just 2 in the second. What has UCF done differently in the second half to defend this man?
Well, number one, they're finding him, right? They're meeting him at the catch. And number two, their 2 best defensive players have been in the game. So that doesn't hurt.
That helps. Yeah, Cambridge and Bowl were out due to foul trouble the majority of that big run. Cam Carr, projected first-round NBA draft pick. Big reason why this lead is back to 11, 6.5 to go.
Baylor going to have 6 consecutive years of top 20 NBA picks, and as good as that is for the players, it's really hurt the program in some ways. Another pick and roll, that's what they're doing. Every time down, they're getting the switch, they're getting 2 dunks and an open layup out of it.
Back to 9. 6 minutes to play in regulation. Agbin, Powell denied! Cambridge with the swat! And a reach-in foul on Agbin.
Well, here it is. There it is. There's the pick. There's the roll. The defense falls down. And then this is a great offensive move. But look again. These blocks have been really stout in the second half. I mean, totally flipped the script. Baylor was getting to the rim. And back to that NBA stuff, right? You want your guys to play in the league, and Scott Drew, nobody recruits better than them. But it eventually catches up to you, right? And there's so many players coming and going, and he's lost some of the elite coaches in the game and these players. And it's been one of the top programs. Boy, he just bowls him right there.
Big man ball by Jamichael Stillwell. 6'8", 245, a beast to the rim. Back to 7. Skillings off the fake, loses it.
He had the right idea. Great shot fake. Lost it on the way out.
Kugel's been the man for the Knights. He's got 22. 3 shy of a career high. Nearly intercepted. Shot clock did not reset. It's under 10 right now. Chris Johnson inside half space. Five-point game. Under 5 to play. Ratai, stripped, stolen by Cambridge. He pumps the brakes, and UCF regathers. Foul on Carr.
I tell you, Johnson just turned on the afterburners. I mean, he just gets by, and look at him turn the corner, kisses it off the glass with the left hand. That was a fantastic move to the basket. Stillwell just playing volleyball right now at this end. I mean, every time he gets it, he's going to lower his shoulder and attack Carr. He's setting hard screens. What a difference he makes in this game at both ends of the court.
That was the last one to give for Baylor, by the way. Kugel gets space and makes it a one-possession game. He's 1 shy of a career high with 24. Timeout, Scott Drew. This place is loud. We have over the next 3:59. It's a 3-point cushion for Baylor, who led by 14 at the break, but now UCF is on an 8-0 run.
Well, if you're Baylor, you don't want to settle. The free throw line has been your friend. Force the whistle if you can. And if you're UCF, you want to guard without fouling. Stay in the gaps, especially against Carr and Yesufu.
Carr, contested three. Too much. And a loose ball foul on Ratai. That is the team's 7th. It's a 1-and-1 for UCF.
I don't know why Carr takes that shot coming out of the timeout from NBA range with a hand in his face. What were there, 15 seconds on the clock there? That's just not what they drew up. And now you send Bol to the free throw line, and all of a sudden it's going to get real tight. It's just a low percentage look.
So Bol made his first 2 free throws of the game earlier in the second half. And for a 7'2" center, 63% at the line. Not terrible for someone in his position.
What an incredible impact he has made in this second half, obviously.
Six points, 7 rebounds. Make it 7 with that first free throw. Too strong. 2-point game.
Coach Drew's going to get something going downhill at least to start this offense, and then attack the rim or kick out for an open shot.
Agbim inside. Ratai. Bol's right there. It does not matter.
Well, that's more like it. No reason to take deep threes. I mean, continue to play off the bounce and kick it out if it closes down.
Kugel for a career high. Short. Carr fouled by John Bol, who's down.
Fouls on UCF, 7, John Bol.
It's the 4th on Bol. Hopefully he can get up and remain in this game.
15 foul on the ice.
Yeah, so both of them are going hard after this ball. Carr's on your lower right. He goes up. They snag him, and as he falls down, the momentum just has to pull, and he pulls him down, but got a little banged up. Just a basketball play. 2 guys going after it, but Carr, an underrated rebounder. I mean, this kid can really get up on the glass and use his vertical.
So we've highlighted how much of a presence number 7 has made. How long are you keeping him on the bench here for Johnny Dawkins with those 4 fouls?
It's just the trainer's decision, right? He'll let him know right away and he'll put him back in if he can go. But you better believe if you're Baylor, you're attacking the rim right here, at least to start the attack with. There's no shot blocker in there.
Here's Carr. Inside. Slithers past the Knights. Cambridge gets a couple back. Timeout Johnny Dawkins as Themis Folks picks up his 8th assist, his 9th, excuse me.
Right, that's just a breakdown defensively by Baylor. My goodness, there's 3 guys on 2 Knights and nobody protects the rim. This is just going to be really interesting here to see if John Bol can go, because they'd like to have him back in protecting the rim. Baylor just won't go away. I mean, give a ton of credit to the Knights for getting back in this game quickly, but Baylor's taken all the punches, and without Bol in the game, Carr, high basketball IQ, just attacks it, gets it. It's just really been the big story, and it doesn't look like he's checking back in.
Playing with those 4 fouls. Walking a tad gingerly. We'll see if he gets the green light. Come back in down the stretch here. What a brutal blow that would be for this UCF team that's dealt with the injury woes over the last couple of weeks at every position.
Yeah, no excuses, right? Stillwell's going to have to pick up the slack. Both teams, remember, both coaches just preach rebounding. You have to block out. You can't give up second chance opportunities.
One more foul to give for UCF. Each team does have one timeout remaining. Williams. Stillwell's right there. Outlet pass. Cambridge. Kick out. Johnson slows it down. Demas Fultz back to Kugel. He's got a career-high 26. And it's a two-point game with 2 to go.
How unselfish by Cambridge not to force a tough shot to run the offense.
Less than 2 hours until March. What else could you ask for on a Saturday night here on FS1? Got to shoot. 1 second left on the timer. Agbin heaves it up. Swirls in and out. UCF can tie or take the lead.
Where's number 4? Let him touch it. Stillwell needs to touch the leather on this possession.
There he is. Number 4 in white. Stillwell. Take it. One minute to go. To shoot. Agbim. Contested shot is good. It's a long 2. Big time bucket. Folks know Cambridge is fouled.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good. Look at Stillwell. This is great defense. I mean, he's in a world of hurt. Just heaves it up there. Talk about clutch. That is a critical shot on the road. And great job by the Knights to just get back and attack right away to the free throw line. This thing is obviously coming down to the wire. What a ball game on FS1.
Cambridge hits the first. He's the 75% free throw shooter. 1 of 2 tonight. Each team has 1 timeout. Remember, UCF still has 1 foul to give. Possession arrow also favors the Knights. This one to tie. Timeout or play it out if you're Scott Drew.
Play it out.
Agbim across midcourt. 15 to go. 10 seconds. Glances at the clock. 5 to go. Agbim. Fouled. Remember, they had 1 to give.
That's a phenomenal job by you, Jacob, pointing that out to our audience, right? Everybody is screaming, you can't foul there, but they have 1 to give.
And they could be more aggressive because of that.
Exactly right. Excellent job. 3-point last month.
Baylor has no timeouts. Something to keep in mind if they can't inbound. Agbim will be the inbounder. The 7-2 John Bull in his face on the baseline, but Johnny Dawkins will use his final timeout after seeing the formation.
That's exactly right. And Folks, the leader of their team, there was a lot of confusion. You see Folks right here. He knew the matchups weren't right. So he's yelling over at the bench, we're not right, we're not right. That's good point guard play. So you see the matchup, and sometimes you also trust your players. Folks trying to get everybody in the right spot, but nice job. The question is who's going to be on
the NCAA tournament. You wouldn't know it by tonight's effort. They're 500 overall, but this team is going to be a problem in Kansas City next week.
No question. Here, Bull has to protect the rim. He's limping, but he's going to give it a go here with 3.2 to go. Be careful of Williams getting the ball back, especially since Bull's guarding the inbounder.
Now it's Williams, the inbounder. The 7-2 Bull in his face. 3 seconds left in a tie game. Agbim, 3 for the win. He's fouled. Riley Kugel with 1.3 left.
Well, look, this is the one thing you just couldn't do. You cannot get into the cylinder of the shooter. There's no chance of him making this shot.
Agbim, the best free throw shooter on this team at 89%, misses the first of 3, but he's got 2 more opportunities. Shooting in front of those ferocious fronds. Waved by the student section. Hits the second. Remember, UCF has no timeouts. They're going to have to go Leitner style to get a good shot off. Misses on purpose, and time expires. What a win for the Baylor Bears. Scott Drew and his squad